What's up everyone, China Cycling here at the Shanghai Bike Show. This year's show is ram-packed with all the latest and greatest. We've got an electronic group set from Magene in both disc brake and rim brake formats. We've got some crazy new frames, super lightweight, 500-600 gram frames, and we've got some new wheels from all of the big players. It's going to be an absolute packed show. Let's go check it out. Okay, so here we are on the Magene booth. Super interesting this year because Magene have just dropped this, their brand new wireless shifting group set. So we're seeing more and more electronic group sets coming out of China these days, but Magene obviously a big player in the wireless tech and the electronic tech space. So it's good to see them getting into group sets. So we've got usual setup, the shifters are wireless, and then on the rear we've got 12 speeds. So again, on the right hand you've got your 12 speed gears. Each shifter has 3 buttons. So you've got your usual going up and down gears, and then you've got a button on the inside that can also be customized to whatever functions you want. So hydraulic disc brake version on this one. There's also a rim brake version coming for your rim brake fans. And yeah, so front derailleur and rear derailleur are connected wired to a battery in the seat post, as you would with your Di2. And then the front shifters are wirelessly connected to everything. We've got hydraulic shifters. As you can see, the shape of the shifter is really nice, really svelte, like not big, horrible shifters like the early hydraulic stuff. This feels very comfortable in the hands, like aero heads position or normal heads position feels really nice. Like I say, 3 buttons on each shifter, up a gear, down a gear. As default, these are opposite to Shimano, but I asked, you can swap it in the app to make it the same as Shimano or whatever. So far, I gave it a quick spin on this here and it shifted great. So yeah, we're gonna see how it gets on, but I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this. Apparently it's coming to market in China this year, but won't come to market in the West until next year. So yeah, stay tuned on the website. Of course, when it is out, it will be on podium.cc. So yeah, check us out for that. Okay, also on the Magene stand, we have their P715 power meter pedals. These are a slight upgrade over the P705s, but yeah, just a dual-sided power meter pedal. Looks like we're using the Look standard, but yeah, dual-sided power meter pedals. They feel pretty light in the hands. They're coming to retail in July, I believe. These are also going to be available overseas, so podium.cc. They're going to be a bit cheaper than your Asiomas, so yeah, if you want a power meter pedal from Magene, look for these coming in the next few months. Okay, here on the SEKA stand, SEKA dropped a bomb last week, and this is it. This is the new SEKA Spear. As you can see, the standout thing on this is these seat stays. So lots of the brands here, they'll do some features and stuff and they'll say it's for aero purposes, but they don't really prove it. SEKA put their money where their mouth is. They went to the Silverstone wind tunnel to test this out. They worked with an aero coach to do a full CFD analysis and then validate it in the wind tunnel. And yeah, this thing is fast. I won't go into the details now, I'll save it for another video maybe, but the attention to detail on this frame is pretty crazy. So the frame also comes with its own bottle cages. So these bottle cages are custom designed to help the airflow around the frame, but even the bottle cage for the down tube and the bottle cage for the seat tube are different designs. So just the attention to the detail that's gone into this is pretty mental. Now, in terms of R&D, yeah, SEKA seems to be quite far ahead of the Chinese competition. Again, like the old Exceed, we've got 2 versions of the frame. This is the racier RDC version, the Superlight version, and then there's the regular race version as well. Paint job, also a pretty standout feature. Looks like a cool paint job. But yeah, very interesting to see this, the SEKA Spear, in the wind tunnel. With a rider on it, it works out a few watts faster than the outgoing Exceed, which is all good. And at the same time, still being lighter, still being stiffer, still having more tire clearance and all that stuff. I was talking with the boss just off camera because I want to get this on Panda Podium. I know you guys are asking, but they're still struggling to keep up with demand even in China. So as soon as we can make these things fast enough, we'll be selling them as well. But yeah, this SEKA Spear, the brand new frame from SEKA, I think it's quite a good looking frame. What do you guys think? Here over on the PARDUS stand, I'm not much of a TT guy, but this thing caught my eye. This is the PARDUS Gomera Evo. This is the first bike I've ever seen where the seat stays, I can't even wrap my hands around them. They are some crazy long seat stays. Then they come up here to some flat plateau thing. Very cool design, looks super aggressive. Again, super close to the front wheel, really aggressive, I keep saying aggressive, forks. Nice integrated cockpit and a very tidy looking clean setup. So like I say, I don't know anything about TT or triathlon, but I know that this thing looks fast. Of course, on it we've got full Dura Ace, but also we've got the SCOM disc wheel and the SCOM 4-blade wheel at the front. So yeah, a super fly looking bike here on the PARDUS stand. Here on the PARDUS stand we have this. This is the Spark Evo. This is the team bike of the PARDUS team that races here in China. This paint job, super bling. I love the chrome finish at the front and then the fade into the orange. You don't see a paint job like this very often. Also rocking the SCOM wheels. Obviously the SCOM wheels we're also selling over on Panda Podium. On top as well, the MVMT saddle, a super lightweight, like 63 gram saddle. I've got that on a bunch of my bikes. We're also selling that over on Panda Podium. But yeah, just this bike, I think looks very bling, stands out on the group rides for sure. Okay, over on the Van Rysel stand, this one caught my eye, obviously because of the paint job. Apparently used by a UCI Continental team called Van Rysel Roubaix. But yeah, I just love the paint job on this one. Obviously Van Rysel's Decathlon's in-house bike brand. I assume the frames are made in China. But yeah, what a paint job. Absolutely love this. Yeah, the neon pink, the fade to the bare carbon. You can see all the carbon layup and stuff. Yeah, very juicy. I'm guessing not a monocoque frame because they tactically spray pink over these areas here so you can't see the joints, but still, yeah, very cool paint job on this one. And yeah, looks like a tasty bike. One of the best value bikes in the pro peloton. So a few things catching my eye on the Java stand. One of them is this. This is an unreleased L-TWOO TT Groupset. So hydraulic brakes and then shifters up here, wireless electronic shifting. So basically the L-TWOO Groupset, but in a hydraulic TT format. So I didn't even know this was coming, just saw it on the Java stand. This Java TT bike, actually, the frame is also aluminium. So crazy with the things people are doing with aluminium these days. But yeah, the most surprising thing was this, the L-TWOO ERX. I'm gonna go ask L-TWOO about this, see when this is coming out, because that looks pretty cool. This is the world's lightest windproof gilet. So here on the wrist bike stand, these are the guys behind the Overfast Thraxels, the lightest Thraxels in the world. We saw those in last year's show and put them on the website. Now this year's show, we've got this, the world's lightest gilet. So this thing weighs just like 42, 43 grams, I think it was just, and folds up super small. The front and the rear of this are made of Dyneema. It's Dyneema's lightest material, which makes it super durable, but also waterproof and windproof. But of course, light as well. So as cyclists, we all like light stuff, especially in our pockets. We don't want to be carrying heavy things around. So having a gilet that rolls up this small and just 42 grams is obviously a good thing. It can also have a pocket in the back, apparently big enough for an iPhone Max. So yeah, they've thought of everything here. And yeah, this looks pretty cool. This is something I wouldn't mind putting in my back pocket on a ride. Another product coming from Overfast that I saw, this. So apparently one of, if not the lightest bar ends in the world. So these just 1.8 grams. So 1.8 grams for a pair of bar ends. Obviously they're hollow in the middle, but enough to stop your bar tape coming undone. But then also in the middle we have an option. You can 3D print a little insert, make it a bit safer obviously, so you're not actually going to lose your leg in there or anything. But this 3D print file, they actually send you the 3D print file and you can print out whatever color you want. So you can print it out to match your bike, of course. Or if you're an aero nerd, and I know we're all aero nerds, they actually have these aero cones that you can put inside and then make it into more of an aero bar end. So I can't do this with one hand, but you get the idea. Goes in like this, and you've got an aero bar end. So let's have a look. One of the aero bar ends is 2.9 grams. So yeah, less than 6 grams for the aero version, and less than 2 grams for the regular version. If you want some crazy light bar end plugs, Overfast have got you covered. Coming to Panda Podium soon. So we're here on the SYB stand. So SYB, they were in the Taipei video. Their thing is titanium, and especially now 3D printing titanium. Their own brand is called Laggett. So this is the Discover One. It's their gravel frame, but this frame is made up of a combination of 3D printing and regular titanium tubing. So the head tube, the chain stays, seat stay, interface here is all 3D printed, and it's all blended together in this seamless thing. The impressive thing about this frame, in titanium, as you see it here, 1,400 grams. So that's a stupidly light. Anyone who knows titanium, something with tubes this big, 1,400 grams, is ridiculously light. And as you can see, you get really interesting designs. Usually with your titanium frames, you're just used to it being either lugs or just tubes into tubes. But with 3D printing, you know, the world is your oyster. You see the chain stays down here, we can get really intricate with the designs. So yeah, really interesting things coming from SYB. Like I say, SYB, they've been doing titanium for years, but now have just launched their own brand, Laggett. This is the Discover One gravel frame. They've also got a road frame. They've got frames coming out my ears. We'll have a look at them in a sec. Okay, so here we are at the XDS stand. This is their RT9. This is their top climbing frame. This thing is crazy. This frame here, 560 grams. Yeah, 560 grams. They're using super high modulus carbon fibers to get the weight down, but even the paint job on here is a super lightweight, super thin paint job. It's got a really nice feel to it under the fingers, and yeah, I think you could build a hell of a climbing bike with this. Looks like we've got a BSA bottom bracket, and yeah, a very clean, lightweight frame. So here we are on the FARSPORTS stand. You guys have been showing the channel. You've seen lots of FARSPORTS stuff on the channel. I did the factory tour a few weeks ago, so you can check that out if you haven't. But FARSPORTS, obviously they've been doing the carbon wheel games for as long as anyone, and they've updated pretty much the whole range. So let's have a quick look at their range. So first, this one's new. It's their Master Build series. Basically, the Master Build series is like their custom wheel series where, you know, you can give the specifications you want and they'll build a wheel to your preferences. But one thing I found super interesting over here, this hub here is a DT Swiss hub that can take carbon spokes. So now DT Swiss have brought out their own carbon spoke range. Obviously, FARSPORTS have been doing carbon spokes for ages. They make their own carbon spokes and have been doing for a while. But now you can use DT Swiss hubs with carbon spokes. So that's new for this year. Obviously, lots of people want the advantages of carbon spokes, but they want their nice serviceability of DT Swiss. So that's now an option that you can build wheels with carbon spokes with a DT Swiss hub. Other options from the Master World series are here too. But as we get down to here, the Evo wheels. Now, Evo has always been FARSPORTS' top-of-the-line series. Inside the Evo series, we have the C series and the S series. Now, it's a bit backwards. C is the steel spokes, and S is the carbon spokes. That always gets me confused. But what you do need to know is these things have gone on a diet, and these things have got lighter. So, I can't remember. I need to consult this here. For example, the 30mm one, so exterior is 30mm at the front and 28mm at the rear, but the depth is 30mm depth. This wheel set, just 1,150 grams, pretty light. If you go a bit deeper to 50mm, we go up to 1,295 grams. So sub 1,300 grams for a 50mm deep wheel is obviously pretty light. Obviously disc brakes. If you want the steel version, there's also a steel version of that too. But of course, the Evo series is famous for using ceramic speed bearings in the hubs. FARSPORTS have partnered with ceramic speed for years, and so that's a kind of a unique selling point of the Evo series. It is the most expensive, it is a flagship series, but as you can see from those weights, you get what you pay for. Moving down, we have the S series and the C series, so these are the non-Evo versions, so no ceramic speed bearings in these ones, but obviously that brings the price a lot down, so it makes them more affordable, and the weight is pretty much the same. So this one here, 50mm deep, just 1,310 grams, super light. If you want a 30mm version, 1,160 grams. So super good bang for your money. Again, carbon spokes, these are looking thicker and wider and thinner than before, so maybe more aero. We'll have to see what goes on. And then down here to the C series, like C series is their steel spokes. So again, similar kind of thing, it's their own hub design, their own rims, but this time laced up with steel spokes. We're using Sapim steel spokes in this one. Obviously steel spokes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You don't quite get the same crazy performance as carbon spokes, but the value for money is a lot higher. So FARSPORTS fully refreshed the wheel range. They've lost a lot of weight. Obviously these ones now are disc brake only, but the weights are really impressive. Apparently these are going to be going on sale end of June, beginning of July. We've been selling FARSPORTS on Podium.cc for ages, and we can't wait to get these ones in stock as well. So check the website out, end of June, beginning of July. So today's coverage is brought to you by Podium.cc. If you don't know, that's my website. I go around these shows, I find all the best products and put it on one website for you guys to buy. So check out Podium.cc. We've got wheel sets, group sets, frames, crank sets, the whole lot. Podium.cc. Check it out after this video. I also saw this, super interesting. So I think this cropped up at the Roller Live show in London last year. But this frame here, as you can see, well, this whole build is very impressive. This build, as you see it here, with the pedals and with 105 Di2. So, you know, not Dura Ace, nothing crazy, just 105. This bike, as you see it here, 6.6 kilos. Pretty crazy. This frame, as you can see, maybe the main feature of it is what we've got going up here. Obviously more compliance when you're riding up there, but also it must be a pretty light frame if they're doing that kind of weight. Over here we've got some of the more different colors of the frame. Don't know which one I prefer. I think I'll stick to black on black. But yeah, this frame here, they have the weights written underneath, and I can see on here, without the paint job, they apparently weigh 770 grams. I see with this paint job here, we've got about 820 grams. So 820 grams. This is a size 56 as well, so not a tiny frame. Yeah, impressive weight for what you've got, especially with that whole seat post setup we've got going on there. But yeah, this is an interesting development that's coming from the FARSPORTS booth. Stella is the name they're going with at the minute, so we'll see what happens with this. And yeah, good to see more brands moving on to frames. Also, I clocked this Neutron branded cassette. Obviously, funky colors is the thing that caught my eye, but the second thing was the weight. So this thing, in an 11 to 30, just 161 grams. That's crazy. We've got some around about 200 gram cassettes on our website, but this 160 grams, that is light. So this one is steel and aluminium. The lower cassettes are made of steel, the bigger two ones made of aluminium. But yeah, we're looking to get these on the website soon. So if you want some lightweight cassettes, obviously pandapodium.cc is always the place to go. This one's apparently not going to be cheap. I think it's like $300 and something. But yeah, if you want to build a lightweight bike, 161 grams, that's going to do it. I saw up here on the bike we just looked at, the Stella, they're rocking one on there as well. Obviously helped them to get this down to 6.6 kilos. So yeah, lots of interesting things on the FARSPORTS stand. Also, if you're looking, we have this Neutron crankset, another sub-brand, sister brand of FARSPORTS. And yeah, lots of interesting weight weenie stuff. Okay, and here on the Sunray Moon stand, so again, you'll know we saw these guys at the Taipei bike show, but they're here at the Shanghai bike show. This one caught my eye, so again, their thing they're doing these days is 3D printed saddles. But these colorful ones, they actually come out of the 3D printer with these colors. So that's super interesting. Obviously, that means you can print them in any color as well as any shape that you want. So yeah, interesting things coming out of Sunray Moon. Obviously, your imagination is the limit of what they can do. So this one has plastic rails, but they're also working on a fully carbon railed version. So this one's pretty light, but not super light. Once they get the carbon rail sorted out, I'm sure this will be lighter too. So yeah, watch out for these Sunray Moon saddles. We'll try and get some 3D printed saddles up on Panda Podium. Okay, that about covers day one of the Shanghai Bike Show, brought to you by pandapodium.cc. Today we did about a third of the show, so still 2/3 left, so come back tomorrow and the next day. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those videos when they drop. And if you've not been to pandapodium.cc before, make sure you check out a bunch of the products we've seen today are either on pandapodium.cc now or coming in the future. So head on over to pandapodium.cc and check it out. I'll see you tomorrow. China Cycling out.